Hello and greetings from Memorial Sloan Kettering. I'm not in the chemo suite actually today because my white blood cell count is dangerously low. So I need to come for 3 days and get a shot that will hopefully increase my white blood cell count. And maybe I will be back on chemo next week, but it's unclear. And this is just one of those chemo things, right? Like chemo attacks the cancer cells, it attacks other fast reproducing cells. So it's always this balance between the damage that it does to the healthy cells and the damage it does to the cancer. You can have a worse life because of chemo side effects in many ways than the cancer itself. So speaking of chemo side effects, I also have this problem since the last week of my right hand being completely numb. If it were my left hand, I wouldn't really care as much actually, but my right hand can be completely numb for like a large part of the morning. And I thought it was just a side effect of the chemo because I have some of this neuropathy already in my feet. And it turns out that if it's bilateral, if it's in both like left and right, that would be normal for neuropathy. But if it's only unilateral on one side, it could be a metastasis, meaning a cancer growth that might be in the shoulder, the neck, the brain, something that's just affecting this side. So I will be getting a CT scan this weekend to find out if that's the case. And that just brings up, in the cancer world, there's a lot of scanxiety is what they call it over scans. And that's very justified because for many people, you live from scan to scan to find out if the treatment's working or if the cancer is growing, or if you become NED, no evidence of disease, which doesn't seem like it's possible in my case, at least for now with the drugs that we have, then it will tell you if the cancer has come back. So I myself see scans a bit differently. So scan to me is a picture of my body at a given time, right? So the scan on Saturday, if I'm worried about that scan itself, and then like I wake up that morning with butterflies in my stomach, to me it seems misplaced because the scan is simply a picture of my body at a certain time. Right now, I might have metastasis going on in my body or not. I'm going to find that out after I have the scan, but I'm not going to invest in that scan like future worry, because it might be completely unjustified. And this is part of my sort of not worrying about things that haven't happened yet approach, right? So worry in many ways is borrowing sort of fear from the future and bringing it in. And I have enough things to already worry about or be fearful about in the present. If I wanted to really focus on my fear, it would be, do I have 3 months? Do I have 3 weeks? Do I have 3 years? Like if I wanted to focus in on that. But the way I tend to deal with fear is I don't just bypass it, like spiritually bypass it. I recognize it's there. I can get at it and the feelings behind fear and how it makes you feel through like my yoga, my meditation, my journaling practice. And then once I've listened to it, so not just squelching it down and pretending it's not there, then I get to decide, like I said last week, how I want to deal with it, right? So what is my more skillful way of dealing with it? And the reality is that no amount of fear is going to make the result any less certain, right? And most of the things that we worry about never come true. So, wasting precious moments over the things that haven't happened yet, to me, makes little sense, right? But again, it's not the absence of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's having fear and doing things anyway. So my question to you is, what role does fear play in your life? And is it constructive fear, right? Is it being used in a way that's not just bringing into our present things that might never happen in the future?